Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me, great to see you. So I'm going to be doing a stacked pocket in this video. Lots of people have done them before, so it is nothing new, but I just wanted to share how I'm going to do mine and what I'm going to be using and how I'm going to decorate them up, just in case it sparks some ideas of how else you could approach things. So I'm making this journal insert. Now this is just the basis of it, where I'm basically just putting together envelopes to make something that's going to be like a pull-out insert, like a removal insert, or I might stitch it in. But the idea is that we're going to have like lots of pockets and journaling space and different things. And what I wanted for this page here is a large stacked pocket, basically to take up that full amount of space. So that's what we are going to be making today, the pocket to go inside. We will do the insert together one day in the future, on a future video, but for now we're going to be doing the pockets. So I wanted to share with you what we've got here. So if I move these over to one side, basically I'm going to be using book pages that I'm going to be covering with digitals. You could just use book pages as is if you wanted to. I would prefer to have like a green type of a theme for this because it is for my botanical journals. So yeah, we're going to cover these up. So basically, here's what we've got. We've got 2 book pages in the back. This is going to form a large all the way down pocket. We've got a piece here. This is one piece of book page folded in half to give you essentially the same thickness as 2 book pages for strength, for stability, and that's going to be sort of about here, and this is going to be again all the way down to the bottom, so a good 2/3 of the way up have a pocket in there. And in a recent video we were making some window pockets with junk mail envelopes. And remember how I said keep your offcuts if you're going to follow the tutorials, because I had a plan for them? Well, we're going to have them on here. So my idea is, this is obviously the part of a junk mail envelope, just chopped off the bottom. And my thoughts were, if I glued this down on 3 sides, we'd have a pocket in the back there, and we could also have a tuck in the front here as well. That's sort of what I'm thinking. So that is what I'd like to have, and obviously we will decorate these up together. So just for clarity's sake, I'll give you some dimensions. So the height of this whole piece is 8 inches tall, and I've got it to about 4 3/4 inches across. Now I've made it very much to fit my insert that I'm making, so you would just change this up, cut down your pages to the size that you need, but just for clarity's sake, that is the size that we're working with. So that's sort of what we're going to be doing. I will also show you a variation, which I will do on video with you as well, but I will make sure that I pause so that you're not seeing me do, repetitive actions or anything. But I'm all about giving you options. So we're going to have the one option there, and I was thinking, I made these recently. Again, on video I showed, I think it was my Franken journal cover. We made these using some yogurt box. They were supposed to be little like notebook type plates, but we could also use them to decorate up pockets. And so I've got a couple of these which are a good size for ones like this. But the variation that we've got here is everything is exactly the same as this one. The only difference is we've got this envelope, which I've folded over like an aeroplane, I suppose. And then I was thinking I might fold up the edge here, or I might not. I haven't quite decided yet. But basically I wanted this to be so that you could see this part, and then obviously we would decorate this up with some different papers, just for a little bit of a variation. So that's what we're going to be doing today. It is simple, and we will decorate 3 together, but I will make sure that you're not seeing me do the same thing over and over again, basically. So I'm just going to get myself all set up, and we'll get going with the video. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is the 2 back panels. We're just going to glue them together. Now the only reason that we're doing this is just so that it's 2 book page thickness worth, so that the pocket is, you know, sturdy. If you have really sturdy book pages in themselves, you could probably get away with just using the one page. I'm using quite, this is quite thin dictionary paper, so the 2 together would be best for this case. So we're just going to simply glue those 2 together. And I have measured things, but I haven't measured them exactly, because when we come to glue on our papers and everything, I imagine we'll probably want to do some trimming so that everything's the same. But we'll do it all together, and I'll do my best to provide clear instructions. And then we've got the second pocket, which is the 1 piece of paper, that book page just simply folded in half, and then we're just going to glue the 2 sides together. Again, this is just for strength. As I say, if you did have a stronger page, then you wouldn't need to do this step. Alright, lovely. Okay, and then we want the nice folded edge, that neat edge, we're going to have this be the top, just because again you get that extra strength and it looks quite neat. So we'll have that on there, and then we're not doing anything with the envelope just yet, because we want to cover everything. So nice and easy. Okay, so I'll just show you, I'm using a kit from, this is Romantica Arts. I want to say it's her green watercolour leaves kit. I have done my intro video for the Edith Holden series. I did do a full flip through, but I basically just wanted to give you a heads up that this is the kit that I'm going to be using. I want to use these really nice plain pages, and then I thought things like this and these could be our ephemera for inside the pockets if all goes well. So that's just a heads up as to what I was thinking. So I just want to decide, so all the colours are quite different, so I just want to decide which ones I want where, so I'm just going to hit pause whilst I sort them out. Okay, so these are the 2 sheets that I've chosen. And the reason I've done that is because I thought this little decoration down here would be nice for this part of the front pocket. We're going to have the rest of this sheet be decorating up the middle pocket, and this with this gorgeous leaf detail in the top corner I thought would be perfect for this part of this paper. So that's what we're going to do. So I think I'm going to just start with the front first. So I'm just going to tear off this border. Okie dokie. Right. So I think we're just going to simply glue this onto my pocket, and then we're going to cut around it. I think that will be the easiest thing. Now I'm going to use Kalau for this. Hopefully I don't spew this out everywhere. I'm still getting used to this glue. I'm not getting terribly close to the edges just because I don't want it spewing out all over me, but I will go in with extra gluing if needs be with, you know, a smaller nozzle. And I'm only using the Kalau just because it's nice and quick, and you know, you get a good surface area and you get movement as well. It's a nice wet glue. Okay, so that's that one. Just going to wait for that to dry before I go ahead and cut it out. And then we're going to take this one just to be sure that it does fit on the paper as well. Just take this border off. I'm pretty sure it will fit, but just to be sure, let me just see. Oh yeah, perfect, wonderful. So we want this side. Yeah, as I say, lots of people have done stacked pockets. You can do them with, you know, all different types of papers. You could do them with envelopes. You could do them with scrapbooking paper. They're just a really handy pocket to have because they take up your full, you know, you get your full piece of, your full journal page essentially is going to be pockets, and you get lots and lots of pockets in one piece of ephemera basically. So it's really, really handy to have. And yeah, they look great once you've done them up. So that's that. All right, so let's cut those out. Could just tear them actually, but I don't trust myself with a tear ruler, but I don't trust myself with a pair of scissors either. So I'm just going to be careful not to cut into our pockets. Doesn't matter too much with the book page, but with the envelope, you know, we have got a nice little pocket going on. And I am trimming roughly with the scissors because I'm going to go in with my guillotine once everything is stuck down. My main thing is I just don't want to cut through any of the envelope pocket, you know. There we go, that's one. And we're going to cut out this one. And once I've got the back one done, I'll hit pause, I'll get the other pockets to the same standard, and then we will build up the pocket together and do some decorating. And if we get time, we might also, I'll show you my ideas for filling up the pockets with the ephemera from the kit, because we might as well, if we're using the papers already, might as well use them for, you know, multiple things. So essentially we're going to have something like that-ish for that one. So that's that done with. And then we want this piece for the back pocket. As I say, I want to get this leaf in. So again, just need to take the borders off. Okay, so I had a little bit of a boo-boo with my ripping, but you're not going to see that anyway. And once we glue it down onto the book page, which just fits, we will, yeah, you won't see it at all, and it will be fixed. So no matter if you do accidentally tear into your papers, it's no big deal at all. I do it all the time because I'm very, very heavy-handed. Okay, so yeah, just going to do the exact same thing, just cover this whole piece with our glue. Okay, and then just want to lay this down. As I say, I want to get that leaf up in the corner. So I think that would look very, very nice. And I'm not worried about the bottom because we can just trim that piece off. I think I don't do borderless printing, or I can't do borderless printing. So yeah, I sort of have to work around what size paper I can get really, but I'm just going to do that. There we are, lovely. And yeah, I just want to get a little bit of glue just on that tear. As I say, you won't see it, it's just so that it doesn't get in the way of anything, like so. Lovely. So that is our back panel, and then we'll have the middle panel somewhere there maybe, and then this is our envelope, which will be somewhere there, like that. That's going to look really nice. So I'm just going to get the other pockets to the same level, just basically get everything glued down onto the, you know, the book pages and the envelopes. And then we'll build up the pocket together and do some decorating. So I'll be back in 2 secs. Okay, so this is how we're now looking. All of my envelopes and book pages are covered in my pretty papers. I'm going to focus on these two first, and then we'll come to the variation after these are sorted. Simply because these are the simpler ones. The one with the variation does require a little bit extra. So I've also trimmed everything down so it's all neat, and I've inked around everything with my walnut stain. So we're now in a position where we need to decide, are we going to round corners? I don't think it needs it necessarily, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm just going to round the back panels, just because I think it might have like a bit of a softer edge then, so excuse me. Okay. So that's the back panels rounded. Oh, no, it's not, that way. Okay, and then if we're doing that, we need to decide whether we want the bottom rounded as well. So I'm going to round the bottom of the envelope pocket because, as I say, I did like the rounded look. Okay, and we want thumb notches in these two. So if I do this one first. Alright, and then I just want to use that as a guide so that they're all in line with each other for the envelope pocket. I'll just have to stick that in there. I feel quite fumbly today. These things don't have to be exact, really, do they? Okay, is that in the same place? Yeah, almost. That's not bad. And then we're going to have this like so. Again, we need to put something in the envelope. So, again, we want to do the two sides of the second pocket. So we get a nice deep pocket all the way down. If you wanted a smaller pocket, if you've got, you know, smaller ephemera, then you could just glue the bottom of it. Oops. And to be fair, you could actually, I want this further up, don't I? Yeah, I want it about here. I was going to say, because then you get an extra amount of pocket. So sorry, I really hope that is clear. I feel like I'm a little bit fumbly today. And then again, I want to just glue up the side of my envelope. Alright. Like so. Getting glue all over myself. And then we're going to glue this on the three sides. Okay. And as you can see, I need to round the corners of that back panel. Now if I can't get this into the punch, at least I've got now a line to follow, a curve to follow. So it'll be neater than the first one. Okay. Like that. Okay, and then this one, instead of putting that notch at the top, because yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that, but if you like it, then you have that option. This one, I think I will try and see about having this as the whole thing be like a side tuck. So in that case, I would glue top down the side and along here, and have this be where I can pull things from. Equally, you could do it where you have this as a belly band maybe as well. So I would glue the two sides and then you can slip something right the way across. So there are options as to how you can, you know, change this up. So that is the basic pocket. I'm sure you've seen these before. This was just how I was doing it with the envelope. So that's those. So yeah, I need to do a little bit more trimming. That's always the case with me though. And as I say, we'll slip something in behind here. Just a little something there, just to cover that where that blue is. So that's that. So I've just slipped in some book page just in the, you know, where that divot was. And then I thought what we would have on the front are, I've made a couple of these out of some yogurt box. I think I showed you these at the beginning of the video. And I thought that would just look really sweet on the front just there of the pocket. So we're going to put these in. And then, to be honest, I'm not going to do any more embellishing with these because once you put the ephemera in, they're going to be quite decorative. I don't think they need anything else at the moment. Obviously, when we come to use them, you know, we might add more, but for now, I think they're fine. So I've just popped a hole just through the front of this envelope, not all the way through, but just through the front side, so that I can put the brad in. I'm just going to open up those legs. Now, of course, benefits once again of hindsight is that if you were going to do this, we could have done this before putting the pocket in. That would have been a lot easier, but you know, these things. Queen of hindsight, once again. So I'm just going to open up this leg. Just here. Can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Just opening that up because I just want to make a mark where I want it to be. So I'm just pressing down ever so slightly so that I can see I want it to be there. So again, we're going to very carefully put a hole through just the front of the envelope and then pop that in. So, I mean, you know, as I say, queen of hindsight, but, you know, what I wanted to do is I wanted to show this. It's still possible to add your brads in afterwards. It is possible. I myself have had to do this plenty of times. And then what you can do, if you're worried that your legs are going to get in the way, what you can do is, just turn that. You can put either some paper or some washi or masking tape or something like that. I'm just squeezing those down over your legs on the inside as well if you think that they're going to get in the way. My brads are quite small, so I don't think they will get in my way, but I can always add some extra bits later. So it looks quite cute on the front there. So that's those. Okay, and then to finish, I just wanted to show you the slight variation that I mentioned at the beginning. So instead of having the envelope be like have a divot in it like in the other two that we've done, my other idea was to fold over a little bit of a flap like so, and then have that be a decorative, slightly different element to it, I suppose. So then you would have the pocket in the back here, and you would have the top spot here instead of, yeah, you'd have the divot here instead of in this front part basically. So the two back panels are the exact same before, it's just the larger book page, the smaller one glued on two sides, and then we're going to add the envelope at the bottom. So I've got the papers planned out as to which ones I think would look nice. So we'll start with the easy one, and we will line the inside of the envelope first, only because I don't want that grey. If you have a nice a nice inside of your envelope, then you know you might want to keep it. You don't have to line it if it works well with your scheme, your colour scheme. In my case, I do just want to rip this down. So I'm just going to go slightly inside that line. And you don't have to line the whole thing, to be fair, anyway, because we're only going to see part of the inside of the envelope. But I thought what might be nice is to have some of this greenery. So let's see, will this fit? Just a slightly bit too tall. So I'm just going to take off a piece of this. Okay, let's see how that would look. so that should be fine. And then as you can see, I just want to do a little bit of trimming, but I'll do that once it's in there. Saves us trimming it too short. So I'm just going to add the collal to the back of the piece. So really it's this exact same pocket, you know, book page, envelope, decorated up and everything. I just wanted to show you a variation to show, you know, these things can be changed up. You know, you can, there's lots of different aspects to this stuff. So like, you know, if you see something that you like, even just the slight different fold in an envelope can be enough to change up the project completely from, you know, something that you've done before. And you know, when you've got stuff together in a journal, it can be nice just to change things up, because then you can have both options in the same journal and have them at least look, you know, that bit different from each other. Even if it's only a slight change, it's, you know, it's something, isn't it? Okay, so we've got that, so we can see the slight little bit of greenery coming through there, which is nice. I'll do the inking after. And then I've got this piece, which I thought would be this section. So what we'll do is we'll just put glue up to where I had it folded. So hopefully this seems, whoop, not gloopy glue. My hands are shaking a lot today, which is why I'm struggling with the glue a little bit, I think. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that down. Hopefully I'm not bringing things too close to me. But I want these leaves, so I'm going to just slide that in. Now I'm using the collal glue because it gives you a good amount of slide so that you don't have to get things in the exact right place first time, like you do with some other glues. So it can be a nice, you know, a nice glue to use for that reason. And it's a good glue, really. So that's where we're going to have the fold down part. So we don't need this triangle, so I'm just going to, as best I can, snip that off. Out snipping through my envelope if I can manage it. Okay, hopefully that's enough. Need to take some off this side just here. Oops. Again, be careful not to snip into your envelope. Righty-ho then. How's that? Yep, we seem to be okay. So then if we fold this over again, so it will be something like that. Looking good. As I say, need to do some inking. And then we've got this flap, which to be fair could just stay as the grey, as you know, there's not really anything wrong with it. I thought maybe this is from a page in the kit. I thought maybe some of this cursive writing might be a nice change. So as best I can, I'm going to get some glue just on the flap. So here's where I go very quiet as I concentrate. Okay, there we are. And then I'm just going to, oops, just pop this down over the top, and I'm hoping it will get something. It's one of those just try it and see type gluing procedures, which I'm sure there are much easier ways to do this, but you know, it's the only way I can think of. Okay, so if we then just cut around this pocket, just really so that I can see where we're cutting to. Okay, Don't worry if you do cut through your pocket, it does happen, and you just have to glue it back up again, that's all. So now we're going to cut around the flap. Now here's where I will try and be, you know, fairly neat about it. If my shaky hands will allow. Of course, the great thing about inking is it hides all manner of issues, unstraight lines, raggedy edges, everything. I find inking really does help with that. Okay, so that's the bottom cut there, and then we're just going to cut to the top of the flap, just here. And again, we can always add some like lace or ribbon or something if we want to. Okay, how are we looking? Oh, I've got some excess glue. No surprise there. Okay, so it's not perfect, but I quite like it. So as you can see, I didn't quite get all of the security envelope in there. Some of the flap is showing, but it's only a very small piece. So really, I mean, you can't even tell. But we can always add some trim to the whole thing. So I'm just going to glue up the side of my envelope back now that we're finished playing around with it. So I'm just going to run a bead of glue. I'm going to do it along this edge because we're going up the shortest side. Okay. Again, I'm having all kinds of glue problems today. Me just being too heavy-handed. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll pause the video now, wipe my hands, and I'll go around I'll do all of the inking of this little envelope, and then we will be ready to see about some decorating up and adding it to the main piece. Okay, so I've done all of the inking. So I wanted to mention about this flap. Now I'm going to glue mine straight down because it is just a decorative element, there's nothing to it. If you wanted though, you could turn it into a little bit of a tuck by, if you just glued this part here, just this side, then this whole rest of this piece here could be a little tuck spot. Now I personally am not going to do that, but I did do that on my Edith Holden junk mail envelope pockets, which I don't know if you would have seen the video yet because I am filming ahead. If you haven't seen it yet, then the video is coming up very soon. I have a feeling you would have seen it already though, but either way it's coming soon if it's not up already. Which I did have a little flap like this, oops, and I did make it a tuck spot, you know, just to be different. On this particular one, I just want it to be just a decorative element. So we've got that. I've rounded the corners of the bottom of the envelope, and then I need to obviously re-round everything once it's stuck down. So we are going to put a divot in this part of the envelope because when we add that, that will just help get into the back here. So let's do that. Don't want to come in too much, just a small divot I think is plenty, and then we just ink that. So I'm learning. I've done the divot before gluing the pocket down. I am learning. Okay, like so. Yeah, that's going to look really cool. So then we want to glue the envelope on 3 sides. So 2 sides down the bottom and along here. Alright, and just pop that into position. Ooh, squirt out your glue everywhere. No changes there. That's something I do need to learn, how not to use excess glue. I'm sure I'm not the only one guilty of that, but my goodness me, I wish I would learn already. Okay, love that. I really like how this is looking. I really think that little flap is actually quite decorative. I kind of wish I'd done it on the other ones now. But it was one of those things, I wasn't sure what it would look like actually until you do it. And it looks pretty cool. So I'm just going to see if I can, no I can't. I'm just going to round with my scissors because I can't quite get in there. And then I think all I want to do is add a label potentially. If not, I might not do any embellishments depending on how it looks. Only because this paper is gorgeous. So really it doesn't need much, but let's just see anyway. So I had this label from Tracy Fox. I just wondered if we could maybe have that just there. But I think it's too big now. So let me see about a label. I'm just going to hit pause whilst I have a little look around. It might be that we don't add one, but I just want to have a little check. So I don't think I'm going to add a label to this one. They just didn't seem quite right. So I'm going to wait until all of the pockets are filled. And then if I want to add extra embellishments, then I can do. But for now, I'm really, really happy with these. So as a reminder, the whole thing can be a pocket. And then we've got, so that's 1, and then we've got 2, 3, and 4 in the ones like this. This one again can be a pocket or a side tuck. I haven't put the divots in these two because I sort of realised that actually I don't know if I want to put a tag in the back at all, or whether I want it to be a side tuck, so that's just a heads up. But for this one, again, this can be a pocket itself or a side loader on your page. You've got a pocket that goes all the way down to the bottom there, another one here, and then another one here. So there are 4 pockets and 1 for these. Really easy to do. I hope that I didn't make it look too complicated. I promise it's not. I just get confused. I get confused easily, but I hope that they looked simple enough. They really are. And the great thing is that when you use book page and then just your digitals, you don't have to use digitals of course, but when you use book page, you can see it stays really very, very thin compared with if you were to use like scrapbooking paper or something. So so that's been really, really great. So I now need to fill these, but I will do that another time because it's getting late here, and yeah, I've been filming for a little while. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm going to use, these are all the sheets that were the other half from what I've used on here, and a lot of these have decorative elements on them, different things like this, which I thought actually if we were to maybe fussy cut them out and back them with some card or something. What is it with me knocking that topper over? Yeah, we could have these as little elements to go in the pockets. You know, that could be a nice interesting journal card type of a thing. That's what I was thinking. So that's probably what I'll have in the pockets alongside tags and things like that. But you will see these pop up again when I make the journal insert that I mentioned. We will be doing that on video together. We'll be doing it soon because I think I'm pretty much almost ready with all of the ephemera that I want for it. So stay tuned for that. And as always, thanks ever so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.